Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name's Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching us today. We're at Interrupt New York 2011 this week. On our program is Ian McCarthy. He is the president of PheonixNAP, an infrastructure provider. Ian, welcome.
Thank you, Rich.
So why don't we start at the top? You're an infrastructure provider. Exactly what does that mean? Give us some details.
We're a data center operator and owner. We have a very large facility in Phoenix, Arizona. It's about 160,000 square feet. We have 4 10-megawatt feeds. It's concurrently maintainable. It runs in front of 2 fiber trenches. It basically is a very large IT shop marketplace where people can bring in their gear. We're also getting into the cloud services, providing cloud services. So we're becoming an infrastructure provider on the public cloud side.
So tell us about your cloud services. How's that shaping up? Exactly what does it do?
Well, it's our cloud services. We decided to build it on enterprise-grade hardware. So we built it on a Cisco platform with UCS for the server side. On the back end, we built it with a hardware infrastructure of NetApp for the data storage. On the front end, F5 for the load balancing, and we tied it together with VMware as a software platform. But on top of that, we also built a very nice and friendly user interface that's role-based access, has a lot of features as far as being able to self-deployment and be able to provision your own resources.
Now, for companies that are looking to have redundancy, what sorts of things do your customers do if they want to have multiple locations?
So we typically partner up with other data center providers out there to provide that disaster recovery type system where you have multiple site locations. But ourselves, we have a very concurrently maintainable facility, so any part of our facility can be taken offline and maintained while still ensuring that we don't take a customer down.
Now, do most of your customers come from the Arizona area, or is it worldwide? Or?
No, that's a good question. So we get a lot of local business from Arizona, but also a lot of California business comes in, and also East Coast business for the disaster recovery type site. So we're leveraged very heavily by the East Coast for disaster recovery.
And from California, I would think the same, right? Because of all the earthquakes and challenges they have?
Yeah, and also the power rates too, very expensive to co-locate there. And people are becoming more and more prone to letting go of the gear and being near their infrastructure. So they're more friendly to outsourcing that over to Phoenix now.
A lot of organizations are getting involved in data center power use, determining whether they're coal power or water power. What kind of power, what sort of technology is powering your data center? Do you know?
We're using SRP. SRP does have some green initiatives behind them, but they're primarily a coal-based. Right now, most of the infrastructure comes from coal, but they are innovating on the energy side with solar also.
Well, that's a place that solar should do pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a lot of sun.
Phoenix is, that's something you're not lacking, for sure. So points of differentiation that I'm picking up here are the GUI, the fact that your electricity rates are lower. Phoenix is generally a good place from a disaster standpoint because you haven't, to date, had many natural disasters.
No natural catastrophes.
Really, so it's a good central location, somewhat central location, but more on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. It's also a nice place to visit. Mm-hmm. So, okay, you've got some good things going for you. Any other differentiators we should know about?
Yes, as far as our cloud, we have a very strong software development branch in our organization, which is not typical of data centers. We've invested very heavily on the software development side to be progressive. They do a lot of API exposure on our cloud. Which is trying to be more of a platform, trying to be very friendly. There's a lot of billing infrastructure built into it also. So we built this so that it's skinnable, and that's very different too. Not a lot of cloud providers are doing that right now.
Okay.
So very reseller friendly too.
So final question, what's next for your company?
What's next for our company? We want to deploy in the East Coast, definitely, at least for cloud infrastructure, if for anything else. We also want to deploy in Amsterdam and probably Singapore for our cloud at the end of the year of 2012.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much, Rich.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Appreciate it.